Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Israel asserts its intention to respond to Iran's blatant missile and drone attack on Israeli territory. Tehran threatens to retaliate to any Israeli attack 10 times fold and levels a direct threat also towards the United States of America. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant highlights the crucial importance of a deepening strategic alliance under U.S. auspices. Israel will respond to the blatant aggression by the Islamic Republic of Iran at a time and a location of its own choosing. The Ayatollah regime significantly escalated regional tensions over the weekend when it initially seized a Portuguese-flagged cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz on Saturday, which the RGC claimed to have links to Israel. Meanwhile, after 2 weeks in which the Islamic Republic pledged to strike Israel over an alleged Israeli strike adjacent to Tehran's consulate in Damascus, in which the top Quds Force commander for Iran's terror proxies in both Syria and Lebanon was killed, the IRGC announced that it would punish Israel and prepared to launch hundreds of projectiles toward Israeli territory.
What is your message to Iran in this moment?
Don't. We are devoted to the defense of Israel. We will support Israel. We will help defend Israel, and Iran will not succeed. Thank you very much.
While U.S. President Joe Biden reiterated his warning to Iran not to attack Israel, the Islamic Republic evidently remained convinced that the Biden administration had no appetite to confront Iran for its belligerent intent. The initial attack began during the afternoon hours of Saturday, when the Lebanese-Iranian proxy Hezbollah launched over 50 rockets at the Upper Galilee and Golan regions in Israel. Thankfully, all of the incoming projectiles were intercepted and no injuries or damage were reported. Subsequently, as it became evident that Iran was preparing to launch a wide-scale attack from its territory, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu held a televised address to the nation, emphasizing Jerusalem's clear-cut policy.
קבעתי עיקרון ברור. מי שפוגע בנו, אנחנו פוגעים בו. אנחנו נגן על עצמנו מול כל איום, ונעשה זאת בקור רוח ובנחישות. אני יודע שגם אתם, אזרחי ישראל, שומרים על קור רוח. אני קורא לכם לשמוע להנחיות פיקוד העורף. יחד נעמוד, ובעזרת השם, יחד נתגבר על כל אויבינו.
At approximately 11 p.m. on Saturday night, roughly 170 one-way attack drones were launched from Iran predominantly, as well as Iraq, Syria, and Yemen, with Israeli, American, and British aircraft alongside France and other partners in the region, engaging those threats far beyond Israeli skies. Subsequently, some 30 cruise missiles and over 120 ballistic missiles were also launched at Israel. However, to Tehran's obvious dismay, the vast majority of its hostile projectiles were intercepted, with less than 10 ballistic missiles falling in the outskirts of an Israeli Air Force base in the southern Negev region, causing minor damage.
A defensive coalition of Israel and its international partners successfully thwarted a large-scale attack from Iran. Iran and its proxies launched over 350 suicide drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles and rockets from Iran, Iraq, Yemen, Hezbollah in Lebanon towards Israel. With approximately 60 tons of warheads and explosive materials. But the threat from Iran was met with the aerial operational, technological, and intelligence superiority of a united defensive coalition of international allies led by the United States together with Great Britain, France, and other partners in the region. Together, we intercepted 99% of the threat towards Israel. Together, we thwarted Iran's attack.
It is important to highlight that one 10-year-old Israeli girl from the southern Bedouin tribe sustained severe injuries when debris from an intercepted missile fell in the vicinity of their home. And while Iran clearly seeks to escalate regional tensions into an all-out conflagration, Admiral Hagari emphasized that Jerusalem remains clear-eyed about Israel's war objectives vis-à-vis the Hamas-plagued Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, Israel notes a significant opportunity to gain the upper hand versus the Ayatollah regime as it is working with its allies and partners to prepare a coalition to eradicate the eastern threat.
יש לנו כאן הזדמנות לייסד ברית אסטרטגית כנגד האיום החמור הזה של איראן, שמאיימת לשים על הראשים של הטילים האלה חומרי נפץ גרעיניים. הדבר הזה יכול להיות איום חמור ביותר. ארצות הברית, ישראל ובעלות הברית שלה עומדים כתף אל כתף להגן כנגד האיום הזה.
Turning to the United Nations, where a heated Emergency Security Council meeting was held, as prospects of an all-out regional war have reached an all-time high.
This attack crossed every red line, and Israel reserves the legal right to retaliate. We are not a frog in boiling water. We are a nation of lions. Following such a massive and direct attack on Israel, the entire world, let alone Israel, cannot settle for inaction. We will defend our future.
While Jerusalem is preparing for retaliation, Iran is seemingly trying to justify its attack to the international community, claiming that an attempt by Russia and China to condemn Israel for its alleged strike on the RGC Quds Force compound, situated adjacent to the Iranian consulate in Damascus, was blocked by the US, France, and the United Kingdom. Per Iran, which clearly has no legal grounds for its blatant strike on Saturday, the failure to condemn Israel prompted the RGC to act. The Iranian ambassador went on to urge the United States to stay out of the war between Iran and Israel, seemingly fearing an American military response to the repeated attacks against US forces, as well as allies and partners in the Middle East.
Iran has no intention of engaging in conflict with the US in the region. We demonstrated our commitment to peace by exercising our restraint about involving the US Army in intercepting Iranian drones and missiles bound for military targets in the occupied Palestinian territories. This underscores our dedication to de-escalating tension and avoiding the expansion of conflict. However, if the US initiate military operation against Iran, its citizen, or its security and interest, Iran will use its inherent right to respond proportionately. I thank you.
Despite the attempt to dissuade the United States and other Western powers from confronting the Iranian threat, Washington's alternate representative at the World Body relayed a clear warning to the Ayatollah regime.
If Iran or its proxies take actions against the United States or further action against Israel, Iran will be held responsible.
Despite Iran's evident failure to penetrate Israel's defenses at large, illustrating Tehran's overrated capabilities, the leaders of the Ayatollah regime's military arms have decried that the failed barrage of drones, cruise, and ballistic missiles served as a paradigm shift for the entire Middle East. Moreover, in an attempt to reassure its regime supporters, the commander of Iran's military leveled a threat toward the United States.
من بعد رژیم صهیونیستی در هر نقطه‌ای به منافع ما، به دارایی‌های ما، به شخصیت‌های ما و به شهروندان ما حمله کند، ما از مبدأ جمهوری اسلامی ایران او را مورد تهاجم متقابل قرار خواهیم داد.
ما این عملیات رو منتج به نتیجه کامل می‌بینیم و این عملیات از نظر ما خاتمه یافته است و قصدی بر ادامه این عملیات وجود نداره. اما چنانچه رژیم صهیونیستی اقدامی رو علیه جمهوری اسلامی ایران چه در خاک ما و چه در مراکز متعلق به ما در کشور سوریه یا جای دیگری انجام بده، عملیات بعدی ما بسیار بزرگتر از این انجام خواهد شد. ما این پیام رو از طریق سفارت سوئیس به امریکا منتقل کردیم که چنانچه امریکا در اقدامات تجاوزگرانه بعدی صهیونیست ها از طریق پایگاه هایی که در منطقه داره یا امکانات نظامی که در منطقه داره مشارکتی داشته باشه و این اطلاعات برای ما قطعی بشه، پایگاه ها و نفرات و امکانات امریکا در منطقه امنیتی نخواهند داشت و ما او رو مانند متجاوز می‌بینیم و با او هم برخورد لازم رو خواهیم داشت.
It is worth highlighting that while acknowledging Israel's right to respond to Iran's blatant aggression, Jerusalem's Western allies are publicly urging it to forgo on a retaliatory response.
It's going to be up to the Israelis to decide what the next step is here. I will just say this. President Biden, since the beginning of this conflict, has worked very hard to keep this from becoming a broader regional war.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to encourage you, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hassan, wishing you a Shavua Mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you during our upcoming update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.